Good evening, everyone. We are here at the deadly Tai Po fire at Wong Fuk Court in Tai Po, Hong Kong. Um, Now, the fire which broke out yesterday on Wednesday, shortly before 3 p.m. in the afternoon, now authorities have said, and we can see the blaze is largely under control. From this angle where we're at, we can see one building on the right-hand side. Uh, there is still a residential unit that has a fire, a visible flame inside. And then authorities said that death toll is now 65. There are 65 people killed in the deadliest blaze in Hong Kong for decades. 65 people have died in Tai Po fire at Wong Fuk Court, and right now the blaze is largely under control. Seven of the eight residential blocks in Wong Fuk Court were previously engulfed in flames since yesterday afternoon. But an overnight rescue operation had largely put out the fire, and authorities have said that right now the blaze is largely under control. We are also seeing firefighters with flashlights inside the building, apparently looking for any survivors. So far, 65 people have been killed in this fire at Wong Fuk Court, which makes the blaze one of the deadliest fire in Hong Kong in decades. This is a number 5 fire alarm. The authority raised the fire alarm for this fire to number 5 yesterday at about 6 p.m., which is the highest level in Hong Kong. And it is also the first number 5 fire in 17 years. The last time we had a number 5 fire was in 2008 in Mong Kok. Now, authorities have said, and we can see the fire have been largely under control, except for a few residential units where there are still flames coming out of it. 65 people were killed in the fire, and 100 more, according to previous estimates, 200 people, at least 200 people are still missing. There have been no update about the most recent figure for missing people. So we are still basing on an earlier estimate announced in the early hour today by Chief Executive John Lee. He said that over 200 people have been missing, and authorities are trying to look for them and to ensure their well-being. And we just talked to some residents and helpers on sites here near Wong Fuk Court within Tai Po, and then many residents say they still have neighbors or friends they know who are missing and who they have not been able to reach since yesterday. NGOs have also said that among those missing are domestic workers from Indonesia and Philippines. And we know that 2 Indonesian domestic workers were killed in a fire. And earlier there was Indonesian domestic workers coming here to a community hall where an identification process was underway. Authorities are reportedly showing photographs and personal items of those who passed away, or those who were killed in the fire, and then allow family members and relatives to identify their loved ones. Many who came out of the community hall were disappointed as they could not yet identify their loved ones, their family members. But some say they will return later, and some went to hospitals in the hope of finding their loved ones there. So far, 65 people were killed in this deadliest fire in Hong Kong in decades. As we can see from the screen now, this blaze, which has been going on since yesterday about 3 p.m. We can see firefighters inside the smoke-charred buildings, inside some of the units with flashlights, apparently searching for survivors. 65 people were killed, and 200, at least 200, are still feared missing, and over dozens were hospitalized, including people in serious conditions. Um, Authorities have been spending every effort to in the hope to rescue uh, survivors, and also an investigation is now currently underway. Police have arrested 3 men um, in the early hours today on Thursday, and the 3 men are two directors of a construction company and one engineering consultant of that company. And earlier today, police said that the company was responsible for installing styrofoam board in on outside the windows of the buildings of the 8 residential blocks, and they suspect those material, as they are flammable materials, could be one of the causes that had accelerated the rapid spread of the fire, and one of the causes that lead to this deadliest fire in Hong Kong in decades. And investigation is still underway, and we have seen police escort those suspects, the 3 suspects, to the construction company's office in Sanpo Gong in the morning today, and also to some residential units in search for evidence and documents. Police have arrested three. I repeat, police have arrested 3 men, um, including 2 directors of a construction company and 1 engineering consultant of that company. That company, police said, was responsible for installing styrofoam board outside windows of the residential blocks here in Wang Fok Court. And they suspect that those materials were one of the cause that accelerated the spread of the fire, and also caused so many people who were killed in this fire. Um, Police say the investigation is still going on, and they urge any people with information to come to them. And authorities have also suspended election forums, and then also have been arranging relief effort, including monetary assistance and also housing assistance to the residents of Wang Fok Court. We were able to speak to some of them. Many said that they still have friends and neighbors who are still missing. At least 200 people are still missing in this deadliest fire in Hong Kong's history. And then 65 people have now been confirmed dead in this fire. Good evening. If you are joining us now, let me repeat the latest development in Tai Po Wang Fok Court, where the deadliest fire in Hong Kong history claimed the lives of at least 65 people, with according to the latest figure that authorities provided. Um, we can see now the fire is now largely under control, with several residential units, for example, one on the right-hand side of our image right here, that is still has fire coming out of it. And we also seeing firefighters with flashlights inside the buildings, inside some of the on some of the floors of some residential blocks here in Wangford Court, trying to look for any survivors. Um, Many residents told us that they still have friends or neighbors or family members who are still missing. And authorities are now also using one of a nearby community hall for residents to identify their loved ones, identify the body of their loved ones using photographs and personal items that firefighters found inside the blocks, inside the buildings of Wangford Court. So far, it is still unclear what caused the fire, but authorities have arrested three men, two directors of a construction company and an engineering consultant of that company. Police said that uh, the the company was responsible for installing styrofoam boards outside the windows of the buildings here at Wangford Court, and that may have accelerated the spread, may have explained why the fire spread so quickly. And an investigation is still underway. We also learned that two Indonesian domestic workers were among those killed. And among those killed, also there was the 37-year-old firefighter who died in the line of duty. His name is Ho Wai Ho, 37-year-old firefighters who had joined the fire service department for 9 years and who belonged to Shatin Fire Station. He was dispatched to the scene yesterday at around 3 p.m. and he lost contact with his team and was found unconscious at around 4, rushed to hospital and was declared dead there. Um, I repeat, also two Indonesian domestic workers were confirmed killed, and we have seen helpers and NGOs saying that there could be more domestic workers who feared missing in this deadliest fire in Hong Kong. And we see an Indonesian domestic worker came in, accompanied by a social worker, came to the community hall where authorities are preparing for an identification, a body identification process. She did not identify her the people she know. Uh, some residents also told us that they were not able to identify their loved ones, and they may return later as authorities update the information they have. Some are looking for their loved ones in hospitals. At least 200 more people are still feared missing. So that is all we have for the latest development here in Wangford Court, Tai Po, and follow us for the latest updates.